Ladies and gentlemen, first of its kind, first ever collaboration. Welcome to a special edition episode, The Breakdown X The Flank. We're joined by Zuma and Ben J. Nassim.
Absolutely!
Absolutely! What's going on, boys? What's happening?
What an absolute pleasure, man. Long overdue, obviously. Recent events. Not going to get... Well, this show is not going to be very drama-filled.
Yeah, no, we don't.
We can touch on it briefly.
I'm just going to take the floor on this just because I don't want it to be drama at all.
Yeah.
But I just want, Tom spoke on it yesterday, and obviously, the community picked it up by storm. I got on stream. I got out the Uber. I didn't really know that Tom went out and said something.
Yeah,
so I kind of got ambushed on stream. But yeah, so basically, we're not allowed to show gameplay clips on Twitch. I'm sure Tom's already stated this to his community. But can't show gameplay on Twitch at all. So this is what we're doing. Where we thought it'd be good to do one with the flank. It's been long awaited.
Yeah.
And,
a ginormous, absolute cock slap to anybody who's tried to pin the breakdown against the flank.
I don't know what that's all about, man.
There's nothing but love and appreciation. Like, you guys know, I was on the flank nearly every single episode back in the day. Like, there's nothing but love, and anybody creating weird friction is fucking bored, and that's
agreed.
The only thing we're gonna say about it.
We talk all the time, dude. I always see people just lying in y'all's chat. Just like, oh, he said this or he said that. I'm like, bro, I did not say that.
Yeah, I'm sure it goes both ways.
People just troll on the internet. They're weird. Fuck off.
Tony, you used let him know, Benjay. Tony, you used to be the special guest. You won an award.
I was the flank guest of the year. God damn it! And I won it convincingly. Convincingly,
we win it convincingly, bro.
It's good, man. This feels good.
I say we get right into it, bro. We had some banger matches today.
Yeah,
matches
dude.
Were crazy.
I mean, dude, this opening weekend, the games were just none of the games disappointed. I feel like even today, I mean, we're gonna get into the matches, but like LAG probably should have beat New York every map. Like the lower tier teams, I don't know if it's because of the game or just whatever, but it feels like that gap is pretty small this year.
Yeah.
I agree.
Tom and I were talking to Dante about 40 minutes ago about this, and Dante feels like maybe the knowledge gap is not as deep as it was last year. He felt like last year they felt like they knew more about the game going into Raleigh. He feels like this year, especially in Search, he thinks there's a lot of parity because people are still not completely caught up on how to play a lot of situations. So I think we're going to see a lot of crazy results probably until after Boston, to be honest.
I completely
there's
agree.
Definitely still a gap. Though. There's definitely still a skill gap. So there's some teams that can't keep up in the slaying department, bro.
Well, I think the gap's just going to widen. I feel like at the beginning of the year, everyone's new, everyone's still learning. I think the reason these talent stack teams end up doing so well at the end of the year is because towards the end of the year, I think pretty much everybody has it figured out, and I think there's an optimal way to play, and there isn't weird knowledge gaps, and that's why talent ultimately wins at the end of the year. It's because they're playing the same, and then talent just wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But the first matches,
the year goes on, people will learn it. But go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, no disappointments though, man. It's been great. Yep. We're starting to see some meta changes in Search a little bit. We're starting to see some of the teams work things differently. I want to point out just how Paris works their A bomb on Invasion, where a lot of other teams like to try to work B. Little things like that. I love seeing that at the start of the game, and I can't wait to see people start picking it up and layering that in and incorporating it into their own game. So it's gonna be a fun year, man. And Hardpoint, I feel like Hardpoint this year, the way the hills are, we're going to see a lot of close games.
Tommy and Ben,
100%.
What do you guys think? I was telling Seth on the watch party earlier. I think so far, I am a little shocked at how much I'm enjoying watching Control compared to the past few years.
I said the same thing today.
Okay,
I said the same thing today.
I have one hot take, though. Invasion Control's got to be the worst map in the game.
Oh.
That's got to be the worst fucking map in the game, bro.
No, but Karachi is solid and High Rise is not bad to watch.
It's hard to watch.
Karachi's good.
Karachi's
Invasion's where I'm throwing in my prize picks, bro. They try and make things interesting.
Invasion is a snooze. Because it's just
fucking shithole.
You're gonna see teams going offensively to A every single break now because I feel like you kind of have to get A first in order to try and secure an offense. Otherwise, it's gonna go down to defense every time.
Yeah, Zinni actually threw up 100 gifted for each of us today.
Dude.
If LAG beat New York, and we're sitting here the whole time bro. Every single map New York could have won, and we were sitting here praying. Me and Mark, we were praying.
I didn't think LAG had a chance.
I thought LAG should have won 4-0.
They should have.
LAG
did I say New York?
should have won that series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LA
LA
should
keep-
have won.
and we'll talk about it. But
They
first
choke.
series of the day, we had the Vegas Legion up against the Royal Ravens, and I think going into this, I had Vegas as a pretty heavy favorite just on both of their first matches. I think the Ravens looked very underwhelming against the Heretics, and also I'm sure the Heretics just came out strong, and Legion looked lights out in Search in their first ever match. So I had Vegas taking this one pretty convincingly, and it started off that way. They go up 2-0. Fast forward, the Royal Ravens take it in 6-5 fashion last map.
Well, Vegas threw the last map. They had Nero. He was sitting square on the B bomb site watching dark, and as soon as he gave it up, me personally, I don't know why he gave it up. He should have kept holding it, but he gave it up for a split second, and then I forgot who it was. Ran through dark and just two-pieced him in the back. I mean, I see Benji.
It was
shaking his
Gwyn.
head.
I mean,
Was it
well,
Gwyn? He made the play.
I think
though.
Gwyn
Big
aced
play.
him last round.
yeah, I think he did.
Gwyn dropped
Tom,
nutsack last round.
what I'm thinking is a text that's behind Zin and Seth right now. That's my way to describe what happened.
The
Yeah,
Texans.
that's the text behind them on the
Oh,
screen.
the
Oh,
text.
they
it's a
broke
breakdown.
down?
It was
Behind
a
them on the screen
breakdown.
right now. Yeah,
I thought you were making a football reference. I know you like to do that.
No, I'm not making a football reference. But look, I agree with you. I mean, I think this was, we were coming into that match, and I felt the same way as Zinda. Like Vegas' search was really good. Obviously, on our show last night, there was a whole Clay and Pat fucking thing, and going in, maybe Clay was a little bit motivated. And it didn't start off particularly good for them in the beginning of that series, but props to them to find something in the control and make it to the fourth map. And I don't know, still the last 3 rounds of that search in round 5 or map 5 are insane to me.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see Carolina slaying today. It used to be London. It's good to see that they picked up the slaying department. They lost 5 straight maps.
Yeah.
So
and then
it,
Then
Go ahead.
Clayster, that's just Clayster, like how he gets it done. Lose 5 maps in a row and then bang. Like right
Only
whenever
Clay,
they get
dude.
that map win, they start getting a little comfortable, and then obviously some things go their way in that last map. But still, they get that first win over Vegas and Search and Destroy. We got to point out the obvious though. I don't like talking about players playing bad. I don't like doing
You're
it
a real
because
I'll
prick,
do
man.
it, Seth. I'll do it.
I don't like
Purge has
doing
been
it.
Playing like shit.
I mean, a
He definitely needs to pick it
0.5.
up, bro.
God, he's not fucking buying kills, man.
Nah, he's putting the
so-
damage down though. At least he's there in the damage department.
But-
at least he's keeping up.
Yeah,
he-
it's fair.
To his defense, like I do, so certain rookies come in and they instantly take over and they're instantly there. Sometimes some players just need more time, and that's like okay. Like we can't knock him just because he's not going crazy. I will say, 0.5 is very bad. I mean,
It's really bad.
I'm confident
It's
my
bad.
dad in the chat could possibly put up a 0.3, which is close to the 0.5.
Papa Zinni, no way. You think so?
No, dude, my dad's only played Pac-Man. I'm not talking John Tucker. I'm talking.
That's a good ref.
Well, I
talking
think
the
one
OG
thing to
Pac-Man.
realize with
reference.
Purge is like, listen, he's a young player, new player. He's not used to playing on the big stage like this. Sometimes, and we've seen it with a lot of young guys coming up, they need some time. Like they need a little bit of time to try to get into it, find that momentum. Like when you guys know, like when you go from amateur COD to professional COD, just the pace of the game is just completely different. It's way faster. Decision making is way faster. You have to play off your teammates a lot more. So I think Purge, he's gonna have to find that rhythm when he's playing in these big matches. I think right now he might just be running, just like running and gunning. When I watch him play based off the eye test, he is really talented. Like you could tell he's a talented player. He can shoot straight. He moves good. I think it's just the other things, just knowing when to slow down, when to pick up, and how to play around their team, right?
I think he's just on a little bit of a slump, Tom, because if I remember the series they played against Minnesota yesterday, or earlier this weekend, like he played pretty good in the beginning of that series. And I don't know what happened since map 3 of that series, but that's the slide he's been on. So
We can't.
I agree.
We can't judge the guy in one series.
No,
we can't.
absolutely not. And
No,
I-
definitely not.
I kind of want to add on to Tom's point where he said the pace changes. I think the biggest change from, I mean, obviously we haven't played in the amateur league, but just from watching, just from the eye test, I feel like people scam a lot more in the amateurs. They're going to give you freebies. They're going to give you get goings. Like whenever you come to the pros, if you're not playing the game the correct way, they are going to make you work for pretty much every kill. Like people are going to scam, don't get me wrong, but they're just going to make you work for kills. And if you can't get in a rhythm and you get put in that blend, I can see why he had a rough series. It's his second series in the CDL. He probably got put into a blender and just couldn't get out of it. But I feel like with time, he's going to obviously learn tendencies of players and learn a little bit how to get out of that and benefit his team. But still, even when he drops a 0.5, they go last map. So I think Vegas looks
think
great.
it's
I think Vegas
6-5 last match.
They get reverse swept, which fucking sucks, obviously. But I think Vegas really like caught my eye because Standy and Nero as a sub duo, they look good. right now.
Yep. Even doing attach. Dylan's been playing great. He's been slotting into that role really good. He's been playing really well with these guys. I definitely think their S&D is what's been separating them. They threw the one away today at the last map. But clearly, that was the first search they lost, correct, Ben? I think that was the first one. They've won every other search. So if they could keep it up in S&D, in my opinion, that's the most important game mode. They need to just stay locked in on that. And then the other things will come as they go. But they got a good team, man. Vegas got a good team. I think they elevated from last year for sure.
I'll say for Vegas, what I've been most impressed with them, even though, again, they tossed the search in Game 5 here, they've been really effective at getting first bloods to like all 4 of those maps. So I don't know if they're going to keep up the crazy like 70% pace they're on right now. I don't think that's sustainable. Probably come back down to earth. But if they could build upon, again, like Vegas last year, build upon the good search, get solid in the 2 game modes, that's going to stay relevant all year, not going to be behind the 8 ball qualifying for champs. And you go from being like the 9th or 8th best team to the 5th or 6th, and you're not feeling as much pressure.
Yeah, I think on the other side, for me, Gwyn, I like the confidence from a youngster. He comes out. I mean, I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter and like see some of his tweets and shit.
No,
but he tweets like nobody can fucking touch him.
I like that. You need that. You need that.
You need that. And Clay talked about it a little bit in the interview. Like when you have a young guy coming in that's so confident, like you're feeling good. Like you're believing in him, and I know Clay believes in him, and he showed out today. A 1.33,
1.3
with almost 15,000 damage is insane. Clay almost had 17,000 damage in today's series. It's Grayster,
he's
maybe.
31
The age
and he's
is
still
definitely
doing
not
it.
getting to him.
But,
I mean, you just retired, Seth. That's pretty fucking tippable, right? That he's still doing it at 31. Like, I don't even know how the fuck he's doing that shit, bro. I'm going to be honest.
It's definitely hard. I mean, I feel like towards the latter half of my career, it wasn't the natural, like, skill. It was just, like, kind of the love for
lifestyle.
the game and the passion for the game that kind of just started to dwindle because, I mean, I'm going to be straight up honest. I fucking hated last year's game. I just didn't like it at all.
You would have flourished in this one now with some Deddy. Would have been able to make plays again. I feel like last year you couldn't make plays.
I hate that, dude. Trying to play COD without dead silence. I mean, it's
well, no. The fact it was ever even a thing. I mean,
it's mind-blowing.
It ruined one of the best parts. We've talked about this so many times, but one of the biggest parts of being a pro is having intuition. And when you allow sound cues to influence the game that heavily, it takes away one of the main parts of being a pro, which is the intuitiveness of knowing when and where to look and when to react. So the whole sound cue and not having dead silence, hopefully we never have to deal with again. But on the topic of Gwyn, huge ace to win the series. I mean, it's 5-5. His team's in a 2v4. He does get a great timing dark cut, but he finds all 4. So the rookie, he shows out in, I think, a much-needed reverse sweep for the Royal Ravens. I think if they started this weekend off 0-2 in that manner, I would have been worried about them going forward. I mean, I think teams can sort of snowball and spiral when things don't start well, especially when that public noise and perception gets involved. So luckily for Ravens, they were able to bounce back, whereas Vegas, I think they knew they threw it. I don't think they're too worried. Like, if anything, you take the positives away and you get back to your scrims.
And I want to point one thing out really quickly. I'll let you go in just a second, Ben, I promise.
No problem.
But this was a big win. Just to go off on that, I just want to bring up the upcoming schedule for Carolina. They get a big win over Paris today. Next week, they got back-to-back gruelers. They play Toronto, and then they play us. So if they lose today, you could be looking at down the barrel of an 0-4 start. So it's nice that they get a reverse sweep, get some confidence, because next week they got a tough one coming up. But go ahead, Ben.
I'd say both teams, I think, play, 3 of the 4 top teams in the remaining schedule. It's more immediate for Carolina, which is why I think this is a big victory because, there's a good likelihood they're 1-3 going into the break instead of 0-4. And for Vegas, I believe they play Miami. I think they have Heretics, and then they play New York or one of the other top 4 teams. So I think there's a good chance that Vegas will be probably like 2-2. So I'm not sure which is the happier the 1-1 teams right now. I would say happy that they're not 0-2. They both have stuff to work on. But for me, I just think the comeback was really impressive from Carolina. Otherwise,
they needed it.
We would have been having an extremely different conversation about this team, I think, on this show right now.
I think Carolina's a little happier right now, Ben.
Oh, they're very happy.
Yeah,
right now.
right. If we're going right now,
immediate short term, 100%. Yeah, but I don't think. I think if you give Vegas a day or two, you step back out of it, and you're like, honestly, we could have been 2-0. We're playing pretty good. We're 1-1. We look at our schedule, like winners bracket is we can control for us right now. We get there, and then sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's a question I got for you guys. What do you think winners bracket? What do you think is going to clinch it? 4 wins? Because now we got 7 online.
You
matches.
can do a lot with 4.
Sure.
Or probably get to the 6 seed.
You can.
4 might get you 5th or 6th seed. It's going to entirely depend on how many teams end up 4-3 and 3-4. I think there's a good chance 3 and 4 might get you 7th or 8th, but it depends if a couple of teams go like 0-7, 1-6.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how it plays out as it goes on, because it'll probably be the same throughout the rest of the majors. We'll see like how many wins clinches you, and then it'll probably be around there for like the rest of them. But yeah, that was a massive win from Carolina. That really good plays from them. I think they really needed that, and if they didn't win that, I agree, Ben. I think that we'd be talking a little bit of a different story here with the Carolina Ravens. So good win from them. Vegas, they've been looking good. Their S&D looks good, but I think we should move on to the next match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go on to the next one. Let's go take a look here.
Where I almost lost $1,500. So real quick,
almost evaporated.
What happened was
That's insane, Tony.
So of course pre-show we're talking.
I can't get a second 10.
Okay, all right. We saw. You're looking at the schedule, right? And you see the New York Subliners and you see LAG. LAG's first match did not go very well. So I'm thinking clean 3-0 New York Subliners sweep. And sometimes I just get these intrusive thoughts and I can't fucking control them. And for some reason, I just blurt out 100 gifted every single chat if the Subliners lose.
That's insane.
So the series starts, and I still thought it was safe. I regret that it came out of my mouth, but I thought it was safe. And then, of course, the series unfolded. And let me say, thankfully and surprisingly, this was an incredible series to watch. I was not expecting to see such an entertaining series between the Los Angeles Guerrillas and New York Subliners, who are, of course, the defending world champions. But LAG, I think they showed a lot of grit and tenacity today, whereas before today, I was like, these guys are nowhere close to win. So I just wanted to give some ups to the Guerrillas before we start because they made this series a really fun watch.
So this series, when I first saw this map set, I was mind blown.
Wow, I'm mind blown. Sorry.
Shout out to Namo.
The intrusive thoughts.
And then I looked at the vetoes, and like basically we got here because Invasion and Terminal got removed, and then the people decided, fuck it, let's play high rise, like let's play sub base. And I think they ended up playing into LAG's favor, but we should just get right into it. That like LAG, in probably another universe, multiple other universes, they win this series. The ways that they tossed the first 2 maps in this, which were very winnable, really didn't set themselves up well. And then even then, they still had a chance map 5, and they let it slip away.
Yeah, a little bit of controversy today with Caesar's Guys Bueno. He's in the chat right now. First and foremost,
he's snaking.
Caesar's been playing insane. Yeah, there was a little snaking drama towards the end of the first map, right? It was at the very end of the map, the P1 hard point. To be fair, Caesar was in the fucking mix. There was shit going on all around him, and I don't even know if he even realized what he was doing till after the fact, but had to throw out a red card today. First red card of the season.
It's the problem.
Was it a yellow card or a red card?
No way, bro. It's a straight red card, Seth.
Straight
red?
red-handed. Damn, Bueno.
I don't have a yellow card, so I have a yellow sponge if you want a yellow card. But
no, what the fuck is that? You got a sponge?
I don't have. I ordered a red card, yellow card. I didn't order it good enough in time. So.
But besides
like that,
for the
man.
controversy, I mean, even LAG tweeted him like that's not why we lost and yada yada yada. Like even LAG was kind of backing him up. He felt really bad about it. He sent out an apology tweet and stuff like that. But it's cool to see the pros keeping each other accountable and talking about it. And to be honest, I mean, Seth Zinn, have you guys seen any snakes? I feel like it's been pretty good.
It's been great.
I have an emote that I fucking love, Tom. It's like my favorite emote, and it's of me snaking a chair. And we never get to use it anymore. Ever.
That's good. That's good work.
It's good, yeah. But I'm like, selfishly, I want to see that fucking emote used, and I just can't. But yeah, I mean,
they should spam me right now if they're in the chat.
Yeah, they're spamming. But thank you guys. But yeah, that wasn't right why they lost. I mean, at the end of the game, I don't know who it was, but they looked off of top third, and I think it was Fame. Fame looked off top third, had a free kill to his left.
Yeah,
like they had multiple opportunities there at the end to win that map. And they just don't get the break. I mean, they got 50 pointed on P1, which is absolutely tragic. But, yeah, that's just – they got clutched up on. I don't think snaking had anything to do with it.
There was a huge play, I think, just to talk about it. Obviously, we have no gameplay, but Diamond Khan has Hydra trapped in a corner on the pinch, and he was in the top balcony. And Hydra just wins a crazy gunfight. And I feel like if Diamond Khan wins that fight, of course not his fault. I'm someone who, like – I don't think you can blame players for losing gunfights or like missing a jump or missing a grenade. Like when it comes to like mechanical errors, that's going to happen in any form of competition. But if Diamond Khan wins that fight and Hydra doesn't get that crazy win, they pretty much have a pinch and should end up winning the map. But Hydra wins that fight. Next thing you know, 4 go down and they're just spawning back red side. And New York get it done. So that was the first, I guess, blunder from LAG because they definitely should have closed that out. And then second map happens, and it's like, fuck's sake. It's a 2v3. Kismet's jumping off the map.
Kismet
He's
falls
basically
off
giving
the
them
map.
the win.
Trolling.
And then New York's clutching up again.
Yeah, I mean, listen, how many times have we seen Hydra pop a random 3-piece or 2-piece at the end of games and just win his team the game? I mean, we've seen him do it so many times. It's like every year he just seems like he's getting better and better. Bro, I think he's definitely, I know we're probably going to build a team in a week sometime after we go over the games.
Yep.
I definitely think Paco's one of those guys that we might even want to throw in there. I mean, he's just been insane. Caesar played really, really well the first couple matches as well. And I think just overall as a squad, I was a little worried about New York, like how they were going to kind of work together with a new team. I feel like P-Dog's a big loss when it comes to just like a good team atmosphere, making the right plays on a map, working well with each other. Like we know what P-Dog brings to the table. Prisa is P-Dog, if you guys don't know that.
Man.
But the intangibles, and that stuff is important. So I wasn't sure if New York was going to have those same intangibles coming in with the new roster, but they look good. And I think Dante's been playing really well with these guys. I know he didn't really drop the best stats this game. He had a .74, but he had some crucial big wins. He had a lot of big gunfights that he was able to win and help these guys out. So I think Dante's always going to bring that talent. He's going to help them with finding kills and getting entries. And they got a good squad over here, man. This is going to be a deadly squad all year. They're going to be really
absolutely.
good.
I mean,
well, just to talk Sib real quick, I didn't mean to cut you guys off.
Yeah.
I just want to like publicly thank him for saving my fucking cash because he goes crazy in the final round of Search and Destroy. He gets
through.
he wins that huge fight against Ezreal where
and then he
Ezreal
turned
gets
on
that
somebody.
first blood. It gets crazy.
Turned on
then he
two
turned
people.
on
Broken,
someone. So
yeah.
He
I just wanna
basically turned on
personally
two.
thank him. You saved me $1,500 today. I owe you something, dinner or something, dude.
I don't know what
something.
dinner's enough for that, Jen.
Yeah, well, I don't want to glaze Dante too much, but also, I mean, he had a tough series today in the KD department. He still put up pretty good damage, but yesterday, or on Friday, sorry, whenever he played our team, I mean, he was the MVP of the series. So comes out today, has kind of a shaky series against LAG, but against like some of the top tier teams, I mean, he was shooting against us. I'll tell you that much. He was a thorn in our side. So I think whenever he fully fits into that team structure, because you know they have a good formula. They're the world champions. Again, P-Dog, a big part of that. P-Dog's a great gap filler. Again, he's just an intangible player. Yeah, good comms. He's going to give you good teamwork. It's P-Dog. He'll go in first. But whenever they fit him into that formula, I mean, Sib's an unbelievable talent in the league. I don't think anybody's questioning that. So whenever they fully start clicking, because today they were not clicking. They almost lost to LAG. That team is going to be very scary.
Yep.
Yeah, agree. I think when it comes down to those final moments is when you see them kick up the most. But go ahead, Ben.
I think an interesting kind of thing with both these teams right now, because they played a lot of high rise, is they've gotten Terminal out of some of these series. They've gotten Skid Row out of some of these series. It's interesting calculus for some of the teams they're going to play next, which is, okay, like both these teams seem to be really good at high rise. If we're not a good high rise team, are we comfortable then playing these guys on like a super straight up? And we all know how Terminal plays funky map, and Skid Row is a little bit funky as well. So I'm excited to see how that kind of meta evolves as we head towards the event, because even though obviously in this case LG didn't win this map, I think this is a stellar S&D map for them.
Well, high-rise control is super slay heavy. I feel like people just they'll send one to the point, and then the rest of it.
I'm talking about high-rise S&D, but if you were talking about map 3, go ahead.
Yeah, I was talking about even the map 3, the high-rise control. It's just a straight kill whore fest. I love it too. I love it too.
I love it.
Obviously, there's a lot of explosions on high-rise too that you gotta watch out for. But I definitely think the way people are playing it right now, like people are playing for lives on high-rise control right now, like the way it's being played. And I kind of like it. I think it's pretty exciting to watch. So high-rise control has been a good one. Not so much invasion, but
yeah, I mean,
high-rise, phenomenal.
We did our it's in our opinion, it's Karachi high-rise, and then invasion is just way down here. I mean, invasion. Again, it's if the players like playing it, it's one thing, but obviously we're a little bit, we want to watch a fun map. So
yeah, one thing Pat said, which I think is true, why don't they move the points on invasion control where the S&D bombs are? It'll probably play out a lot better.
And flip the map.
Yeah, bathroom is just too cross heavy. Like there's no, like even if you do the hard part and get the kills, all it takes is one guy to be watching across from a head glitch to get a 2-piece. So I agree. I think they should consider moving those points, because I don't think they're good right now.
It just becomes a situation where the most effective way to get that is you have to full pinch and you got to spawn them out deep. Yeah. Because if you don't full pinch, to your point, you spawn close and they're coming gas side, and they've got the crosses already. If you then get a position where you have the crosses, then that's why you're seeing teams. I think you mentioned at the beginning of the show, hit that point early because you get that there, and then you can go to their side and play your numbers game and get trophies down and hold. So I agree. For me, watchability, invasion's last, but I think for pros, I think a lot of them don't like high rise because of the unpredictability. You go 4 dead on offense, spawn trap.
Yeah.
4 dead on defense.
That's
spawn
a fair
trap.
point.
Then
That's
you
a
get
fair
blown
point.
up.
Because the
Random.
pros,
Yeah, and then
the
you get
pros
blown
probably
up,
do
yeah.
see some maps differently than we do. Because like we're looking at it strictly spectator, and it's like they're looking
Yeah,
at it like
true.
like the way they can move over the map, and like I think when you're a pro, you're thinking of the game like, okay, can we win offense by doing what we need to do, and if we do it right, can we win the round? Whereas we're thinking of it as like, this is fucking boring. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
a different feel and look. So important.
And
That's a good
just
note.
to speak about LAG a little bit, I think Diamond Con's been really good for these guys.
Really
Diamond
good.
Con's
Him and Assault
he's
went
been
crazy
playing
today.
well. Not even so much just the stats, just like the little plays that he's making around the map and the kills that he's picking up. I feel like Diamond Con's he's a really good gap filler for these guys. And I played with him. Well, I didn't play with him, but he was on the New York Subliners. I don't know if you guys remember when he had
Cold
that
War,
little,
right?
Yeah.
Cold
Yeah.
War, and he was good. Like he was.
Yeah,
really
he was good, man. He was an
He was good.
XM4 merchant, but he was fucking nasty.
He was good
Yeah, he
last
was an
year.
excellent
He was
forward.
good last
he
year.
was
and
nasty.
He just
Yeah.
got screwed by the LAG situation because when they were horrific at Raleigh, like couldn't get 150 points in hardpoint, they blew up the team and kept Alec. Well, he was the one player from LAG Academy that didn't come over, and so
Yeah.
he kind of was stuck in the blender last year, still playing well. I'm glad that he is getting his shot, and I know in the LAG squad we have our thoughts on it, but I'm glad that he's proving he can slay at this level, and hopefully this
Yeah.
leads towards.
I
future
think the main
opportunities.
concern right now is just the sub duo from LAG. I think they're gonna have to just pick it up a little bit, just in terms of like the routes that they're taking and just playing off one another. Like they're gonna have to get that chemistry up. Even Estrio, like you'll see moments of him popping off, and you can see that the kids clearly got talent. But when they're playing together, sometimes they just look a little off. They don't seem like they're on the same page sometimes. Like they kind of seem like they're just running off by themselves and just making solo plays. Think if with a few tweaks, I don't think this LAG team is as bad as
No.
a lot of people are making them out to be. And
Dude.
we've talked about how close the skill gap is, but
You can't
we'll
be-
see as the year goes on.
You can't be bad and play New York like that. Like, you can't be a bad team and, I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Call of Duty is a very woulda, coulda, shoulda game. A lot of micro-second adjustments happen and shit happens, but they realistically should have won pretty much every map. Maybe not map 5, but maps 1 through 4. I feel like they outplayed New York today.
Yeah.
The-
Do we
where they
know
just-
who LAG plays next, Ben? Sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah,
They
I
have
can
a
get that for you real
grueler.
quick. But I think the one pointer they do have a grueler. The one point I wanted to make is what they just got to be careful of, and where a lot of teams in this position over the years, like LAG last year, after they make the changes, you make that team, you get that early chemistry, and then once you hit the first valley, it's just over because you can't get out of it. They got to stick with it. There's going to be up and downs. This is one of those downs. If they do that, then they might be an example of like I know Florida didn't qualify for champs last year. But that Florida team, we were punking on them for 2 months, and then at the end of the year, they pulled up to Toronto, and they were actually like pretty good at that event. So
Yep.
these
Cap was
guys can
going
keep it
crazy.
going.
They beat us.
Yeah. So
Didn't they beat us? They beat us, right? Didn't they 3-0 us?
Did
I'm
they?
pretty sure they slammed
Well,
us.
I think so.
at Toronto, if they played you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Ben, do you have that schedule up?
Yeah, so for LAG, here are the remaining. They only have one more game left in December. It's against Thieves. And then when they get back in break, they have 4, which is LAG, Boston, Minnesota, and Miami. So it's a winnable schedule if you look at it.
Wait, repeat
Like,
those. Sorry.
So the 5 teams remaining, LA Thieves, last match they play in 2023. And then on January 12th, they have FaZe, then Boston, Minnesota, and Miami.
FaZe, Boston,
Okay.
Minnesota,
Those
Miami.
next three
Miami's
are-
no joke, man.
Yeah,
Miami's no
yeah,
joke.
They're
Miami's no
starting-
joke.
Sounds like they're
Yeah,
starting
Miami might be
losers.
good.
Yeah.
Potentially, but I
Potentially,
see a
yeah.
world with some of these that they can win. I mean, it could be worse. Like they
Yeah,
could have a
no,
way
honestly,
worse
like,
schedule than us.
I mean, before this weekend started, I would say Boston's clear cut better than LAG, just like before we even saw them. Now I think like LAG Boston's going to be an actual
That's a
solid
good
series. Like
series,
that's
yeah.
going to be a
Or-
good watch, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of my opinions have changed just based on what we saw this weekend. So we'll see. I think
Especially
the LAG.
Boston, right, Zinni? Because
Sorry?
Boston's 0-2 right now.
Yeah, I know. So I'm curious to see if they bounce back. They've had a slow start. I want to see what Heretics have too going forward. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about teams that didn't play today, but I want to see what Heretics have because Heretics 3-0 the Royal Ravens, and I'm not sure that might have been a testament to how solid the Heretics look, but also I think the Ravens looked terrible yesterday.
Yeah, they had I think
It's
they
not
had a
like
bad day.
So I'll defend Clay. I don't think they got destroyed by Heretics. They were close maps, but they still lost 3-0, and that to me shows that Heretics are playing pretty damn solid right now.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
we're
Agreed.
taking a look at their schedule. Ultra, Subliners, and then like you said, Thieves, FaZe, Breach. That 3 is tough for them. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think they
Good luck to
have
them.
some potential.
Yeah, they got potential. I want to see Boston kick up because they started the league just flat, just 0-2. And they don't look bad. Like I like their sub duo, especially Castle and Snoopy. Like they've been moving pretty good.
Well, they
bro. They've been
threw.
They
playing
have the
well.
same problem that Thieves do. They just get caught running.
yeah.
They get caught running a lot. Like they're not as patient as some of these other more disciplined teams. And yeah, like sometimes Subi be running through smokes and getting 3 pieces and it looks great. But at times he's getting caught crossing lanes and then he's given a map control. Same thing with Big Cap. So like,
Well, they're
that's
throwing
my concern.
too.
And we could.
I mean,
Go
like, for
ahead.
example, when Cap overslid that bomb and they gave Saeem
Oh,
that
yeah,
clutch,
that was tough.
I
like there are
remember that,
certain
yeah, that was
mistakes when you're
tough.
like that FaZe series is going to bite Boston in the ass and mentally because they could have beaten FaZe. Like those are very close maps. They could have went up 2-0, and like you're making mistakes like sliding past bomb and getting picked. Like if you just fine tune those mistakes and don't make them versus top teams, like you can't give the top talented teams anything. Like you cannot fuck up and give them anything. And that's
No.
Yeah.
Especially
what
not
they did, I
FaZe. I
think.
mean, FaZe right now, they're number one on a lot of people's just tier lists. The coach tier list, they're number one. So, I mean, Boston played FaZe close, though.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there's a lot
They
of
did.
close matches, man. And then they obviously dropped to Seattle, and that was a relatively. They played Seattle, right?
Well, if we want to keep on the
Boston,
facing,
yeah.
we can move to the next
Yeah,
series.
we can move to the
which-
next series.
Yeah, go
Which,
for it.
even though Thieves FaZe ended up being a 3-0 Atlanta FaZe, like all 3 maps were pretty close. And again, on the same issue we talked about with Boston with Thieves, I think they put themselves in some winnable positions in these maps. And unfortunately, oftentimes FaZe was the more patient team of the two and took advantage of those situations. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
Well, FaZe LA Thieves, I thought LA Thieves just couldn't keep the fuck up in slang. To be honest with you, they got absolutely bodied every
I
match.
mean,
But
I mean,
all
just,
three
I mean,
maps
just
were
look at the
close, though.
stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the stats are a blowout because of all those like crazy control rounds where Simp was just pushed up in their base, spawn trapping them. BZ was pushed up in their base, spawn trapping them. So I think you look at the slaying, it's pretty lopsided because of those control rounds. But Thieves could have won map 3. They could have won map 2, and they had a chance in that first hardpoint map. It's just, again, I think from my perspective, they just get caught kind of out of position, get caught sprinting. Whereas FaZe, you see it with draws. They're fast, they're disciplined. They do a good job of switching lanes, playing off each other, bidding and switching. I think Thieves have some work to get to that level.
Yeah.
I think the main story
Go
with
ahead,
FaZe is Simp, dude.
Yeah, I
I mean,
was
he's
about to
back
say.
on
Blair
this
is
Cold War
unreal, dude.
bullshit. He's been
Honestly-
insane with just with the sub. The way he's been maneuvering around the map and the 2 pieces that he keeps finding. I mean, he's definitely back to his bullshit. And he was even talking about it. In the interview, he feels like he could just actually make plays now. Where I feel like last game it probably hindered him a little bit when
It's-
he was trying to run around and make
it's
plays because you get
TTK,
soundboard everywhere
and you're
you
getting
go.
zapped.
And
I
every
mean,
single
yeah.
and every single high TTK game, Simp has been fucking unbelievable.
Unreal,
Black Ops
dude.
4, Cold War, like these super talented players like Simp. I think Simp has weirdly flown under the radar the past few years, but like if you're a pro, there is no pro player that looks at Simp and it's like, oh, it's just Simp.
No.
Everybody knows that like Chris Lair is one of those fucking players that can literally drop his ball sack right on your forehead and win a
Yeah.
series by himself.
The mental
So-
image is that, bro. Like,
So
come on.
so I'll spoil it now. When it comes to team of the week, I will be putting
Yeah,
Simp on that
Simp
team of
has
the
to
week.
be on
Oh
there.
yeah,
And that's-
100%.
and that's not even
100,000%.
a
for sure.
conversation.
I mean,
Simp
he's
might be
lights
back
out.
to MVP form, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Yeah,
drops
I
42.
agree.
He's got the kill record right now. He comes out today, and not even talking about his first series. First series goes crazy, then he comes out today and drops a 1.4 against 2 good teams, Boston and LA Thieves. They're both in the middle of the pack, 5th, 6th. Those teams are still really, really solid, and he's doing his fucking thing, man.
Yeah.
He might be fucking back, which is scary for the league. Because, again, he's been kind of overlooked, overshadowed maybe by Abizi a little bit past couple years because Abe's just been insane. But now he looks like he's back. And he said, I thought it was interesting in his interview, he said that his passion for the game is back and he's enjoying it more. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with the higher skill gap, the higher HP.
Yeah.
It makes him feel like he's him on the map because now you actually got to kill him in not 3 bullets. So
Yeah, passion is important, bro. You
Yeah.
need passion. You need to love what you're doing, or it's just gonna all fall apart. And he's probably just won't play well if he didn't like the game. But on the other side, LA Thieves, talk to me about these guys. I mean, I feel like they're a good roster, but this is where I worried with them. The top teams. I just don't know if they're gonna be able to keep up with some of the top teams. Like I don't know if their sub duo has what it takes. I am a big Joe DeCease fan. I love the way he plays. Like I love his game. But today they clearly struggled. Especially in the damage department. They just had a hard time getting any sort of kills or getting any sort of momentum going. The maps were close. They were close maps, but it felt like when push comes to shove, they were just a step behind. It seemed like.
Listen, I know it's early, and so I don't want us to overreact. But the Cam and Afro duo didn't work last year, and so far through 2 games, and again, like they were close and they were winnable. I still not really sure about this duo, and I do think that's one to be watching because I really like Dan Ghosty. Dan, I think, might be actually the best player on the team right now. I don't know if you guys agree. And Joe's had his moments, but Cam and Afro, not quite sold on that just yet.
Yeah.
I mean, Afro has he has his moments where he's doing his thing and he's going crazy. But again, it's just like the inconsistencies between each map. I don't know if it's like a play style thing or a decision making thing. We know Afro. We know how aggressive he likes to play. I'd rather have a player who's getting aggressive and getting shit on rather than somebody who's not making plays. Like, at least he has the confidence to go out there and try and make some plays and try and make something happen. But today it just wasn't working out for them.
They're playing FaZe, man.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Thieves yet.
It's hard, yeah.
I think
it's early. It's early.
They played a strong Surge. Like, I'm shocked with how strong Surge.
Surge looks fucking.
Yeah, Abner called it. I mean, Surge. They're starting off hot, right? Those guys have some chips on their shoulder.
We did our breakdown, like just superlative, like too early type things, and I said Surge was my dark horse just based off of the early, preseason stuff that I've been watching. They've been looking good in 8s. Everything that I've been watching individually, those players have been playing well. And right now, I mean, Surge looks fucking scary. So
I want to give Thieves the benefit of the doubt for now. I want to see more from them. I think the reality is I think FaZe is the better roster. And if I'm, at least from my perspective, I'm taking some positives away if I'm Thieves, right? You lose 250 to 230, 6-4 in Search, and then 3-2 in Control. All maps where if the domino falls the other way, like, could have been different. So I don't want to overthink Thieves too much. If anything, just give them some more time.
I want to see them play some like mid other, because I don't think I can't call Seattle a mid-tier team right now. I think Seattle's a top team.
Seattle's the 5th place team right now.
I think how
People
can you say 5th?
them up on a list.
I'm laughing.
Dude, Seattle is good, man.
Wait, so I mean,
I
had them top
schedule.
5. My top 5 is our top 4, and then Seattle instead of Boston.
Yeah,
go ahead, Ben.
I agree.
Go ahead,
Let
Ben.
me read you their schedule because, to your wish, they're not going to get it because they have 2 matches left in December against Boston, who are 0-2. That's now a must-win match for both teams. And then you've got LAG, who we kind of think is decent, so that's not a gimme. And then they come back and they play Toronto, New York Subliners, and then Carolina Royal Ravens. So, like, realistically, I unfortunately going an 0-2 start, like, I don't know if this team is going to make winners bracket. I think they might be kind of effed at this point. It's early, and I told this story obviously, and Seth and Zin, you guys are familiar with this. In Vanguard, there was a team in Major 1 cycle that started 0-2. They got punked on, especially on our show. And they came out and won that event. So 0-2 starts not the end of it, but they do have a very difficult schedule, so they need to figure it out quick. Especially
was that us?
On Friday, yeah.
You said, and then Ender's thumb happened.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing again.
Speaking on that, Illy looks great coming back from an injury.
He does.
Really
he looks
good.
happy.
I'm not really too sure what the injury was, but he looks a lot better now.
Well, yeah, I don't want to talk on that because I don't know. I want him to be able to talk about that whenever he feels comfortable.
Yeah.
I think he's fully healed. I think there was like lingering. I think he is fully back, and he's been grinding in the offseason. Like, you can tell Ender's back, and he's been playing absolutely unbelievable.
Well, they all
and I
seem
love
happy.
to see it for him because
I like how happy they all look. Like, they're like, you can tell that they really enjoy playing with each other. And it's like, when that roster was first formed, I thought maybe they put Abuza in the wrong role. I was kind of confused with like the team composition. Then, of course, the game right now is kind of unique where it's like there's more ARs sometimes than we anticipated. But I was questioning sort of the way they built the team.
Yeah.
But what I like the most, I mean, you can just see it in the interviews with Illy and Alec. Like, they were just all smiles, like they were with each other in the background. And it's like, even teams that win, like, they're not like that sometimes. So I'm excited to see how much fun they're having. And I'm a little shocked with how well they've been playing.
They got a good team culture over there, man. I see the Dallas Empire duo, right? Like Illy and Hook. Speaking of Hook, he's been great. Like,
Dallas Empire trio because they got Rambo as their coach.
Yeah,
Rambo
Ray
as well. And I feel like when it comes to Kyler, a lot of the pros have been gassing him up behind the scenes. A lot of people have Kyler on the top of their list right now.
gross.
they just say he's challenged. If you think he's not challenged, he's challenged. Like,
apparently he's like that guy when it comes to cross mapping with the rival.
He's
with the
zapping.
sub.
And
Well, we
I
know
think anyone's
Kyler. He's
ever-
never been afraid to
I
challenge.
don't think
Go
anyone's
ahead,
ever questioned Kyler's gun skill. I think where he's gotten himself in trouble on some of these teams is sort of either not understanding tactically the system that they want to play or just kind of making the same mistakes over and over and over. But I think he's surrounded in a team that plays very aggressive, which is going to play to his strengths. So I really like what I've seen from Seattle so far. I think all those players, again, kind of have chips on their shoulder. And I think deserved, to be honest, 2-0 start to the season for them.
Yeah,
I don't think they got lucky
One more
at all.
thing about the FaZe LA Thieves series. I think that the way FaZe's team is built now definitely fits them better now. Like having MC slotted into that main AR role, like you can see the difference. I don't know when MC like started changing his play style. I feel like he wasn't always like when I played with him in Black Ops 4, he wasn't always like that main AR type of player. But now as years have gone on, it's kind of where his play style has taken him. So I think bringing Draza on to kind of be that flex guy and kind of run whatever gun he needs to run. I just feel like the overall team dynamic with Atlanta FaZe is just a lot better this year. I think it's going to help them out a lot.
I completely agree. I mean, FaZe is up there, man. They're a hard match. Whenever they come across, you always know it's going to be an absolute grueler. And I agree with you 100%, Tom. I think they're going to be in the conversation all year. They have been for the past 3 years, but this year I think they're going to be a filthy squadron.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I mean, one squad that only really has always gave FaZe trouble is y'all squad. If you guys want to hop into the next match, we have OpTic's Texas going up against Minnesota Røkkr.
What a segue there, Tom. Love it.
I mean, OpTic's always been just like a tough matchup for FaZe. Like that's just been one team that just matches up really good against them. I don't know if it's like a talent thing or what, but last year I think what was the record between FaZe and OpTic last year, Ben? Do you remember? I always felt like when they played, that was the one team FaZe couldn't get over.
5-1 or something. It was crazy.
Something like that.
If you give me 20 seconds, I'll tell you, but go ahead and fill real quick.
So what? You said go ahead and fill real quick? You guys
they FaZe in 5 series against OpTic won 4 maps.
Yeah.
So.
4 maps?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so it was bad. It was definitely bad. And yeah, speaking of OpTic, Texas, Minnesota Røkkr, OpTic do get their first win of the season this year. Congrats to you guys, Zin and Seth. It's a big W for them. I think OpTic's been looking really good in terms of talent.
I didn't do a single thing to help.
What happened?
Didn't do shit,
you
but thank
congrats to us. I didn't do a goddamn thing, dude. I sat here and yapped.
But that's your organization right there, man. That's your org. That's your
I'm
team,
happy for them. Well, I kind of want to rewind just real quick because obviously they have the super close series versus New York. And, of course, like with most of the top teams, I think people really like to over-exaggerate, like, these early matches. Like, I put it like this, and this is obviously, it's sports, whatever, but when the Dodgers lose to an Astros in a close game, it's not like they go home and freak out. When the Yankees lose to whoever, they don't freak out. The reality is when you have top teams in any form of competition, there's a winner and there's a loser, and as long as the games are close, that's what it is, right? You go home and you get back to your practice. Like, everybody, I think because of how little games are played in our league, everyone's like so quick to, oh, this guy needs to be dropped, this guy costed. It's like, dude, it's competition. I've seen Aaron Judge go 0-5, then hit 3 homers the next game. It's like everyone jumps the gun and over-exaggerates the fuck out of some of these top teams, and that's what they did after the New York series. I mean, the amount of noise around the New York series, it's like first game of the season, 2-6-5 S&Ds. Like, I'm not sure what more you want to see. I mean, if anything, there's positives to take away.
They have been to round 11 all 3 searches that they've played.
Every single one. And to be honest with you, a few of them, like especially the one yesterday in Terminal, like there were 2 days ago, they threw that one away.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
they know.
I think they tossed away this one again, too. I mean, we were talking about the play that AG made. I think if he was just a little more patient, they would have been good. But they're close in search. It's just those little – it's not even a strategy thing. It's just mid-round decisions. They're just doing B when they should be doing A, and if they do A together, they're going to win it.
Yeah, what really impressed me today about their performance was their hardpoint. I mean, neither hardpoint map was close at any point throughout the game. They played both those hardpoints very, very well, which is good to see. Again, I mean, Kenny has always preached that his teams are very good in control. We get a 3-2 win on control. If we can fix up search, I think the boys are looking absolutely incredible. And, they lose to New York, and it's as close as it can be. So
I mean, speaking of Kenny, though, he's been insane, dude. I don't even give a fuck if he has a .95. I could literally care less. The plays that he's been making, and impact players. He's an impact player, bro. Like he's just a smart player. Like he just makes the right play all the time. And Kenny's also a player that at any moment can pick up the pace and get a bunch of kills. Like he can slay as well. So I think Kenny's been a really good shot. I think Bruce yesterday or 2 days ago, he struggled a little bit, but Bruce is also I feel like Bruce has been doing such a better job just doing whatever he's got to do to get the W on a map. Like, he's definitely changed his gameplay a little bit in terms of, like, jumping in hills and soaking time. I think there was one map yesterday where he had, like, over 3 minutes of hill time.
Oh, yeah.
So just to see Dashy, like, kind of slotting himself into that role, and then today he comes out and he drops a 1.26, and that's what you want to see from Big Brucey, man. 16,000 damage. This is the Dashy you want to see. I think the first day was just tough.
Yeah, I got to give huge props to Brandon. Just seeing him mature over the years and as a player, I mean, he just makes such better decisions for the win and for his team. It was talked about a lot last year how Brandon's like kind of molding his play style now to fit more of a system player. or be a system player, and we saw that in the first series comparing to the next series. He drops the stats, gets 3 minutes in Hill. Obviously, they don't end up getting the win in the last map, but he's just making better plays to get W's, and I love to see that out of Brandon because the guy's got. There's no question the guy's got one of the straightest, if not the straightest, shot in the league. So it's good to see him, drop that wall and start playing for the win with the boys. I love to see it because. That's what it's about, maturing as a player and making good decisions in game. I love what I'm seeing out of Brandon.
Yeah. Listen, I think Pred and Shotzi, too, they'll get better as the year goes on. Like, even today, they looked insane. Even the plays that Ant was making around the map. I know there's been a lot of critiques around Ant's gameplay, but we know Ant, and we know, how good he actually is when he's at his full potential, and he knows the game, the in and outs, his routes and his timings. Once he starts getting all that down, like Seth, you were a sub-player, right? Sometimes as the year goes on, you start to figure out your routes and shit.
Yep.
You're just going to get better and better and better. And today we saw that, especially in the search. Ant was going crazy. But go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, they just got to take the overheating out of the search gameplay. And if they want to overheat, they just got to overheat in moving with the rest of their team when they're up. And listen, we talk about maturity. I love to see from OpTic Texas today, we get a 3 or 4 dead on Karachi, and we're stacking the point of control. You always see teams troll that early. Love to see that from the OpTic boys. It was round 2 or 3, whatever their second offense, I think it was. It was a good play and helped them kind of advance in that map. So I like the progress. If you're an OpTic fan, obviously, there's some stuff for them to work on, which is always good. Being perfect at the start of the game is, a little bit trickier than having 1 or 2 things to work on. They're in a good spot for a team compared to the rest of the top that have made multiple changes. They have some role things going on. They're in a really, really good spot, I think, to pull up to Boston and be a contender.
Absolutely, Ben.
Agreed. And I think looking at the other side, the Minnesota Røkkr, clearly Big Wake was that one guy that was the only one positive. Everybody else was negative. There was little things with them today. I feel like they are a good team, though. When you watch them play, I feel like that you give this team a little bit more time. I think this Minnesota Røkkr team can actually make some noise. They played OpTic good today on some of the match, and the hard point they need some work. I'm going to be honest. Hard point they need work. But their search look good. I think the biggest thing for me with Minnesota is Vivid, just the plays that he makes. I think a player like Vivid goes under the radar a lot in terms of stats and stuff like that. His stats aren't always the best, but we see what he does in the BPL and 8s and stuff like that. He played with Dallas Empire in Cold War. He's had his moments. He's just a very aggressive player. He's got to be annoying to play against, bro. Constant pinches, constantly in your face. Vivid's been really fun to watch. I love
watching Reese in search. I think Reese's search game is always fun to watch because
he's not scared to make a play.
He's not afraid. He'll take that timing. He'll throw a shoulder. He doesn't see you. He'll hit that shit. Yeah. And I love that. I love that style of play. So yeah, Reese. Reese has always been known to just have crazy engagements. He'll throw his body around. He'll die. Again, like you said, stat board doesn't tell everything all the time. He applies pressure. Reese is a fundamental player. He knows what he's doing on the map. And I feel like people don't really give him credit for that all the time.
I was very frustrated watching Røkkr play hardpoint today because they really went against a team like OpTic that are very aggressive. This Røkkr team can't decide in a lot of these situations as a team if they want to hit old time, 2-and-2 split, or rotate early. And I think it killed them in that skid row because, there's obvious plays you want to rotate early like P2. But I was watching the ways they were playing those P3 and P4s and the amount of mistakes that they were making when players were coming off a spawn, they should have rotated to the back of the hill or go cut tunnel. Instead, they're hitting old, and you're getting 5 or 10 seconds, but you're leaving the guy at new who's about to get 1v3 in the worst spot of all time instead of chaining 2 hills together. I just think they're totally all over the map on that game mode and they need to figure it out pretty quick.
Ben, on the Skid Row, did Minnesota pick bad side on Skid Row?
That's what I was wondering because they had good side map 1 and then they got bad side in map 4.
Wait.
I don't even know. I thought somebody said I think it was Sam. He was I'm pretty sure Asum or somebody said they picked bad side.
They had good side on map 1. Minnesota did.
Okay, so then, yeah.
Because they spawned Palace side map 1, didn't they? I think they got P1 into P1 first, and then on map 4. On map 4.
Yeah, they started bad side. That makes sense. What do you mean?
They started bad side.
Somebody said in our watch party that they picked bad side.
No.
It could have been wrong.
Røkkr picked skid rows, so they didn't get the side pick.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But I assume by picking skid row, you know what you're getting into by having to start on bad side. You know how you got to navigate.
They won the break, to be fair.
They won the break, and I kind of almost instantly flipped OpTic. They just didn't.
This is like a
mega troll to halfway through the P2 by all going down and kind of getting in the blender. But
this is like an overgeneralization, but I feel like I saw this team struggle with it today. It's so important like when you have a setup to either get the first blood or play your life. Like this is not a game where you could like just throw your life. Like with these money hills and how important they are because how you just trade 60s for 60s, if you die and don't get a guy severely one shot, whatever it may be, if you don't play your life or get the kill, then your team, if they get broken, it's kind of your fault. Like it's so important to be finesse heavy in this game, I feel like, more so than maybe the past couple years.
Yeah, I agree. You got to finesse. And Ben, just go back to your initial point on hard point when it comes to rotations. Like those are decisions that teams are going to have to make now. Like what hills are we going to rotate super early to? What are we going to try and lock down? Because we know there's money hills on a lot of these maps, like hills that are just unbreakable. To be fair, though, a lot of these unbreakable hills have been being broken. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but even like the Palace Hill today.
Yeah, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, Ant did some crazy
so
shit on
weird.
Palace. He just jumped up. He got under him, jumped up, broke it instantly. Like Ant did some crazy
Made
shit
the play.
today.
And I don't know if it's because this match just means something and people are just making more mistakes now because they're in the middle of a match that actually matters. Like in Scrim, like I feel like people don't make as many mistakes as they are in the match. But it's crazy seeing some of these teams break some of these hard points, man. Like when you look at them on like the layout of some of these maps and like some of these hills, I don't even know how teams are breaking it. Like you said, Seth, like people have to make individual plays. Like Shotzi just makes an individual play, sneaks through, and has to just go rogue and find a couple kills. But that's the playmaking ability that you guys have. Like that's a great play by Ant. Like they were definitely making plays for sure.
Absolutely.
Good job from them.
I'm going to be honest. If you're any other team in the league, I don't know if I'm playing OpTic on Skid Row, bro. The way that they play and
You
the plays
shut
that
the
I'm
fuck
making,
up.
seeing
They'll continue to play him.
Shotzi and Prep play
You
where
shut
they
your
know how
fucking
to.
mouth.
I'm seeing them very effectively know how to pinch people, like and basically like kind of funnel spawns where they're going to get freebie like kills in the back. I don't know if that's a map I want to play because if you go down early, the first two hills, that thing is pretty much over. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, Ben. I was actually surprised to see that in the series today. I was like, wait, Skid Row got through? I was actually kind of surprised to see them play that, and they obviously punish them, close them out on that map. It's a good point. You can just tell AG loves that shit. He was
he does.
repinching God steps. He was
That's an AG
repinching
map,
top. He was just repinching people all over the map, and that is not what you want AG doing
Dude,
because he is very good at that.
That whole bottom mid, top mid is like, AG dreams about shit like that. Just jumping out of a window and then repinching it, going up a staircase, jumping out of a window, repinching the same lane. Like that is literally,
Yeah.
it's like bow cage to him, like that little portion of the map.
Well, people on Skid Row, they're gonna have to start watching those pinches, bro, because people spawn mid map and they pretty much spawn on the pinch. So like when teams are pushing, like even the P5 hill, like when they're getting kills and they're pushing through tunnel and they're pushing through ticket booth, like people are gonna be spawning really close, like bottom garage or like bottom middle or top middle. I think it switches, right, Ben? Like it's not really. Sometimes they spawn top, sometimes they spawn low. I think that's why people didn't really like the map in the beginning, but they're starting to learn it now.
You need a garage player on like 3 of the hills on that because it influences spawns, but also like helps you get like 2 different crosses. You get tunnel cross, they can help out like the ticket booth cross. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Yeah.
so
Well, we
that's
saw-
hard for, again, we were talking about AG, like that's perfect because AG is going to do his thing where he's going to lie on his belly. He's going to get a pick and he's going to be shooting another guy in the back, and it's just going to be chaos for their team. Who's getting funneled to their death over and over and over.
He plays his guarantees. He's fucking good at it. But I just want to point out one thing. We can't show gameplay obviously, but Brandon actually Minnesota kind of fucked up. I think it was on the first P5, but Brandon just got a free three piece
I know
from
what you're
top
talking
plat,
about, yeah.
and that just someone's got to watch that.
Was that
Like,
his fault? Wait,
yeah.
did he spawn there or did he pinch that?
I'm pretty sure he spawned there. He
Okay.
spawned there, or maybe he did pinch it. I don't really remember that vividly, but he just gets a free three piece.
That Reese?
Yeah. I remember that.
Reese. Yes.
Yeah. You definitely don't want Dashy pushed up on a cut, mowing you down from behind. As soon as he got that 3-piece and they were spawning out, I was like, yeah, this is
over.
probably over.
There was one other weird thing that happened that map was on the last like P3. Ant was like mid cut and got stuck and then sprinted at them.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
at the bottom of the stairs and
This is
got
fucking sickening.
3,
with no
like, dude, that was
gameplay.
insane.
I feel
like
like
2
Professor
TKs.
X. I'm just sitting here trying to fucking play the map in my head. Just
Gotta have a good memory,
try to
man.
remember plays.
Yeah, you got to remember it. No gameplay. But, yeah, no, I thought OpTic looked great today. I think they needed this win. I think Minnesota, they have a lot to work on. But I think there's been moments that they showed some promising talent. I think they've been looking pretty good. Obviously, today they didn't get the win. But this is a team that we got to just pay attention to. I think Linz, too. He's young, another rookie, right? I think even the way he's been moving around the map, he'll slowly get his confidence as the year goes on. I think he's going to be a player that is going to really have to step up for this team. He's the rookie. He's that guy that's going to be going head in first. Him and Reese, right? Like those 2 guys, they're going to have to try and get on the same page. Clearly, I'm big on the sub duos, man. Being a former sub player, same with you, Seth. Like, you have to work well with your duo. Like, if you're not working well with your duo, it can all fall apart. So,
Absolutely.
Minnesota, they got some things to work on, but overall, not too bad of a showing, to be honest. Not too bad.
Nope, not too bad. Just got to work on the HPs, like you guys said. But those were the matches. Do y'all wanna build the team of the week now, or y'all want to keep
let's
chatting?
Down.
No, I'm down to build a team of the week.
How do we want to do it?
I think we each pick one player.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think we each pick one. I'm not sure who goes first.
I want to go first. I want to pick Simp.
you get
You can pick them all the time right there.
you get the
I wanna
easy
go
job. Just pick
I want
Simp.
Simp.
You got Simp? Tony, that's your player?
Yes.
Do you want to explain why you got Simp? Like, let's.
No, it's very self-explanatory. He was dropping ball sack on foreheads, 150 health, 40 bomb and control.
You're obsessed with ball sacks on the show right now.
He loves it.
Like,
I mean, dude, he was
loves
just dropping
balls.
it. I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, there's no other way to say it. You can just tell he's comfortable again. He's looking like Chris Lair. Like he's winning fights he shouldn't win. He's looking intuitive. He's looking aware. And obviously, I think FaZe, every single player is so good, but I think he stood out. And on a team that can slay so well and that has so many good slayers, the fact that he was dropping those numbers, I feel like you got to put Simp on the team of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think Simp is a great shout.
Riley, real quick, do we have our graphics? Oh, there we go. Yeah, Simp number one. Yeah, it's undeniable the way he played this weekend. MVP, early MVP candidate if he keeps playing like that, because he's been mowing.
Yeah, he went crazy.
I guess I'll go next. I'm gonna switch things up. I just want to give a big shout out. My player, I don't think it's Ender. I mean, Ender again. Vanguard year, we teamed together. Shit happened. We didn't get to play with him until champs. That's not Ender.
That's Paco.
That is not.
Illy's a great shout.
That's not Ender. But yeah, Ender. I feel like he's fully back. I feel like, I mean, coming back from an injury like that, it's got to be a little, hard to get back into that mental state that you have to be in, where you're playing every day and you're grinding and you're playing 8-hour days. I can't imagine dealing with a thumb injury, especially on the dominant thumb that you're using to aim every single day. So
yeah, it sucks.
It's
being somebody who's been there. It's not easy.
It's impressive.
It's very taxing on the mental, for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. It's impressive that he came back. It seems like they found a good squad to put around him. I mean, he's got his Empire duo, Kyler there. They got Ray over there, a great coach. I'm just really impressed with Ender, and I hope he keeps it up, man, because he deserves it for real. So shouts out Ender.
I'll go next. I want to show some love to Caesar Skies Bueno. I thought Skies was insane for the New York Subliners. I think if Caesar keeps playing like the way he did this weekend, like they're just going to be even deadlier than what they are. I think Caesar's really stepped up in terms of just in the slang department, just the plays that he's making, even the way he's able to stay alive and play his life. I think on high rise he got like two cruise missiles. They got like 3 streaks or something. I don't know. For me, Caesar Skies has been unbelievable this weekend. I think he's been great.
Crazy,
I don't know
Tom.
if you guys. Yeah, I don't know if you guys agree with me on that.
100%.
For sure.
I thought it was great.
100% agree.
And I feel like sometimes Skies goes under the radar. Sometimes I feel like people don't give him his credit. Like they don't really talk him up a lot. I'm talking him up today, man.
He's
Caesar
teaming
Skies
with Hydra,
Bueno.
Tom.
Remember the name. What's up, Seth?
I said he's teaming with Hydra. That's probably why.
He's teaming with Paco. I mean, Paco's definitely probably elevating everybody around him. I mean, when you have a player like that on your team, it just motivates you to step up your game. But he's been great. I think he's been just super impactful. So I'm going to go with Caesar Skies Bueno.
Sure.
The red card.
All right, Ben, come on. Let me hear
red
the
card.
connective tissue, kid.
So there are a couple players or 2 players that only played 1 match. So I'm not gonna put them in my team week because they have 1 game this week. But I want to give a shout out to Lucky, who played crazy in that series versus Carolina, and I want to give a shout out to Kleenex, who I think had an insane series as well. But
You got to pick one, Ben. You got to pick one, bro.
No, I'll tell you the player I want to pick, which is Paco. I think Paco has picked up where he left off from last year when he was the MVP of the league. And look,
That
he's
was
the man that gets set up.
anticlimactic.
He gets someone to get set up on this team, and he is, not slow down the squad. I think even on a 150 health game, he's going to continue to play the way he's going to play. I think New York, if you watch him play, they have insane teamwork, and I think it starts and stops with their ability to work around Paco's ability to find gaps, set him up, make sure you can get those 2 or 3 kills. I think he's impactful in all game modes. I love watching him play on the high-rise searches, like the bottom middle pushes he has, like the bottom middle pushes he has. I love it. Excited to see what New York can do, man, because I know obviously we've talked a lot about the pickup with Dante, and I think this New York team is going to be a fun one to watch at Boston.
Okay.
Everybody's saying Kleenex robbed in here. Listen, there's a lot of players who could probably be in the top.
I'm seeing
He
every
dropped a
single-
1.4.
Game, like,
I'm seeing every
Oh,
single
yeah.
name. Guys, Diamond Con went 0-2. He did play great, but his team
Yeah, he didn't win a series.
And I
went
just wanna say,
0-2.
Kleenex dropped a 1.4, but they did play LAG, and that
In
was
one
kind of when
series.
LAG thought that, or when everyone thought LAG was just going to be not good, just frankly.
Dude, they're just never happy, man.
But he did drop a 1.4.
Fucking turn it off. For
What do you-
fuck's sake.
Nah, there are a lot of players that we could definitely shout out and say that they played really well, but I definitely think the 4 players we highlighted deserve it. Lucky was a good shout, Ben. That was
Yeah,
a good
Lucky
shout.
was
I
one.
think I think the Miami guys were definitely surprised a lot of people, and they got that Spanish culture, bro. Like they're just gonna have that chemistry throughout the whole year. Even their listenings, they just sounded fucking turned. Like they definitely got something to prove. They got a chip on their shoulder. That was a good shout, Ben, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for me, of like the non-top teams, I think Miami is the one I bring for the most, because one is I want to support, a franchise and the Heretics coming back in and bringing in new Spanish-speaking fan base to the league. We want to support growth there. And second, love the guys on that team. Obviously, you and I have known Journey for a minute since he came over here in Modern Warfare 2019, although he was here a little bit the year before in Black Ops 4. And obviously, we've gone to know Vickle very well over the last couple of years. That's my bro I talk a lot about soccer with. So excited to see them get off to a good start this week. I know they only played one game. They have more coming next week, and we'll see if they can keep the form going.
That's a pretty good team.
Yeah.
We got Hydra,
That is a good
Simp, Illy, and Skies. I mean,
Yeah.
those guys all went above and beyond. And once again, obviously, so many players played well this weekend. We just all picked a player that stood out to us. Ben shouted out a few players in particular, but a lot of players played well. That's the Breakdown X Flank Team of the Week. Congrats.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The boys, everyone played
They all deserve
solid
it, man.
on that roster.
You can always nitpick and say this player deserved it. Those 4 players are all deserving of being on the list. Let's not kid
Agreed.
ourselves. They played fucking phenomenal, every single one of them, and they helped their team
Yeah.
get the wins.
Should we have some fun now?
Agreed.
We should have some
Down to
fun.
Have some fun.
You boys, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for rapid fire. Let's play a little 2v2 60-second rapid fire question game.
We had to do
Oh
it.
shit.
the Breakdown versus the Flank.
We had to do it.
I'm not getting a single question right. There's no way.
You're
The
gonna get them right.
breakdown-
Well, you
We
got
got
Ben. You got
two.
Ben. So
Oh yeah,
Two
you
to
got
two.
Ben. Oh, so we're doing it together. So
Yeah,
we're doing
yeah.
2 and 2 here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
I like that.
Oh wait, is it teams of 2 or is
yeah.
it?
It's us versus them.
All right, Ben.
So me and you
lock
have the same
fuck in,
questions that
Ben.
we're asking them.
Well, one of
I
us can
need you
ask the
here, Ben.
questions.
But do you have the same questions that I have?
Let's compare.
You know I got papaya brain,
Wait, this
Ben. I
says-
need you here, bro.
This says
What's up?
this says methods to Scump, Riley.
Oh, okay. So we have the same questions. Okay. All right, boys. Do you want us to ask you first or what?
Yeah, we'll let
yeah,
we'll let
you
y'all
ask
go.
us first.
All right. Who wants
Okay.
to ask? Am I asking?
All right, so how this works, y'all are gonna have 1 minute, and do we want to put stakes on this shit?
Some steaks?
100 gifted if we win, 20 gifted if you win.
Do we want
What?
to put stakes?
Let's do 20 gifting to the
All right,
winning team.
Done.
I'm done.
Okay, so 10 and 10.
10 each. Yeah, 10 and
10,
10.
10,
I'm down
Sure,
with that.
I'm down with
Let's
that.
do it.
All right,
do it,
well,
bro.
how it's gonna work? Right, we're gonna count down 3, 2, 1. It's not rocket science. 3, 2, 1. Minute's gonna start on the clock. We're gonna read you the questions. Whoever gets more right obviously wins. If we need it, we'll go to a 1-question tiebreaker, which Riley will rig.
All right, let's go. Come on. All right,
All right, let's get it.
so we're asking you first. Am I asking the questions?
Yeah, you can. I'll let you
All
can
right.
ask. Go for it.
Oh, thank you, Your Grace. On
Yeah,
3,
absolutely.
So we're gonna do 3, 2, 1, go, and then on go the 60-second is the 60-second timer gonna come up for us, Riley? Okay, perfect. All right.
Yeah, just tell us when the time is
You gotta
up.
tell us when the time is up. So.
Yeah, just let us know.
All right, here we
Yeah.
go. All right, so when I say go, I'm gonna start asking. Then the 60 seconds to start it. Ready?
Okay,
All right.
go.
3, 2, 1, go. During which match was there a Hardpoint Hill pop error this weekend?
That
It
was
was in
the
the
Seattle match.
Seattle match.
Seattle versus who?
Yep.
Boston.
Okay. What glitch ended OpTic's first match against Røkkr last year?
SAE.
Okay. Which 4 teams were in the breakdown preseason S tier?
Toronto,
which
FaZe, OpTic,
in
and
New York.
In New York, yep.
Okay. Which 2 players joined the breakdown 1v2 last week?
Shit. Who the fuck
Pass,
was that?
pass,
Was who he
pass.
was.
Okay.
Pass it, yeah, pass.
Assholes. Which former pro sounded off about CDL talent yesterday on Twitter?
About
Donnie
CDL.
Temp.
Yes.
Donnie Temp.
Yes. Which team won a hard point while only winning 2 out of 9 rotations yesterday?
Pass, bro. Unless Ben,
Okay.
you got that. Maybe.
Which two?
I'm passing on that.
Which two players got 99 kills on the first day of matches?
Simp.
Yep.
And then who
Simp.
was the other one?
Simp and Hydra?
Nope.
Oh no.
Okay.
Simp, 90.
What
Yeah,
artist put out
pass.
the hit songs viral in one night?
No fucking clue, bro.
What? That's RNL Bose. That's RNL Bose.
I was like, bro, I had no idea, bro.
Oh hell
My bad,
no.
Money
That's
B. My
great.
bad, bro. Damn, dude.
Oh fuck no, man.
Money.
No
What they
way,
get?
bro.
4,
No fucking
5?
way.
They got
Yeah, I
4.
respected my guy, Marcus. I actually.
They got 4. They got
Dude, Riley
the
put
Seattle
all
SAE.
fucking breakdown
Bro,
breakdown questions.
Who did you guys? I watched the breakdown. Who did you guys have on the
It
1v2?
was Pred and Shotzi that came on.
Pred and Shotzi.
Oh, okay. I knew it was one of your players. I should have just said fucking Pred. Bro. I knew
I
it was one
don't
of them.
remember. It was like, fuck. It was all good.
And then
They just like kind of hopped on. They just hopped on and we just bullshit.
And
for a
then-
little bit.
Yeah.
Breach won a hard point while winning 2 out of 9 rotations. It was Simp and Kenny who dropped 99 kills. The artist who put out the hit
Kenny,
singles
dude.
viral in one night is none other than RNL Bose. And then the next 2 questions are which player had the highest. Actually, should we wait in case it's a tiebreaker? Let's wait. Okay.
Yeah,
Well-
we could save them just in case.
All right, you pricks. Let's go. Ask us questions.
All right,
All
Ben,
right,
you got
so-
questions?
So I got the questions, but I have no way. Someone's gonna have to tell me when the timer's up because I
Well,
have no way.
no.
to fucking
Well,
know.
no.
We'll tell it.
Hang on.
Can you hear me?
You're gonna say 3, 2, 1,
Ben,
go.
can you hear me?
And on go,
Yeah, I
he's gonna
can
start
hear
the
you.
All
timer.
right, I'll count you down.
Riley, we're coming down.
Wait, how many did
Riley,
they get?
Love that.
They got 4.
They got 4?
They got 4 right.
Yeah,
Oh, we
and,
got-
and the timer didn't come up originally, so they got about a minute 15. So I'll give you guys the same amount.
They
of
got
time.
a minute 15.
It's all right.
Yeah, we had a
Oh, yeah,
glitch
well,
with the
that's
timer.
a little
No
cheese
way.
timing. That's fair. We're making it fair. We're making it fair.
Okay, come
Riley's rigging it.
All right,
Okay,
ready?
go ahead, Ben.
3, 2, 1, go.
Who got the first elimination of 2024 season?
Snoopy.
Yes!
Which player dropped the first 100 kill series of the year yesterday?
Simp.
Yes!
No. Which
What?
two people were beefing on the flank last
Wait,
night?
Caesar. It was
Wait,
Caesar.
say it again?
It was Caesar.
Which two people were beefing on the flank last night?
Clay and Aches.
Clayster and yeah, Aches.
Clay and Aches.
Yeah.
Okay. What clothing items does Tom roast Ben for wearing on the flank?
Pass.
Yeah, fucking asshole.
Who was the post-game interview for Miami yesterday?
Vickle.
Yes.
Which caster made their CDL debut today?
Hold shift.
Hold shift. Oh, he rigged
These
it
are so
for
much
us.
easier than the
He
question.
rigged
Bro,
it for
come
us.
on, Riley.
Keep
what the
going,
fuck?
keep going, keep going.
How many total rounds did S&D? How many total rounds of S&D did Røkkr win yesterday?
2,
3.
3.
12
Yeah, you guys
3.
got two. Oh, right.
I think it was
Zuma
3.
has a high-pitched voice alter ego named what?
Wait, say it again?
Zuma has a high-pitched voice alter ego named what?
The boss.
Tomasi?
Tomasi?
No. Which player had the highest overall KD on opening day?
Simp?
No.
No.
Which flank host is never wrong just early?
Oh,
Aches.
Aches.
Damn, Ben, you asking these questions at the speed of light.
Yeah, he
Slow
was
it
giving
down a
them to
little
us
bit.
way too fast.
Whose team are you on?
No, this is bullshit. I'm frauding this. These questions.
No,
are way
you're
too
not.
easy.
I'll fly to
Nah, our
Colombo.
questions were pretty easy too. I'm not gonna lie.
Now I know how Zin feels on the breakdown.
Wait,
He's
wait.
getting
Oh no,
so
I
pissed
won
off.
last year. I'm the rapid fire
Nah,
champion.
That's how I feel. We got set up, bro.
Wait,
So-
wait,
The
wait.
fuck?
Listen, we had to rig the questions because Tommy's team was absolutely rigged in that Davis crew battle.
Oh my
It
God.
was unbelievable.
Okay, we did have a good team.
It was unbelievable. So we had to get ours back.
All
All
right.
right, each of you go over all the answers.
Each of you. Okay, then all over the. Okay, yeah. So and then the final 2 questions we had, which you guys didn't get to, is which player had the highest overall KD on Saturday? That was Kleenex. And then which breakdown host is so handsome and smart that he won the most rapid fire segments last year? That answer is yours
That's
truly.
definitely you, Zinni. That's definitely
Correct.
Tommy Boy. Because nobody else. would
Thank
say
you,
that.
Riley. That's very kind of you.
Well, it's Riley
No.
writing the questions. It's not Zen.
Oh, that was
So
Riley.
I'll go through all of them on our side. So who got the first elimination of the 2024 season? You got right. That was Snoopy. Which player dropped the first 100 kill series of the year yesterday was actually Nero. You guys got the third question right. Which 2 people were beefing on the flank last night? If you don't know, it was Aches and Clayster. It was actually really funny. What clothing item does Tom roast Ben for wearing on the flank? His stinky slippers,
The
which are not sticky, by the way. They're nice slippers. So
They
I
smell
don't-
like shit.
I don't
Smell
appreciate
from
you
here.
roasting my slippers, but okay. Who was the post-game interview for Miami yesterday was Vickle. And by the way, shout out Vickle. His hair is coming in nice, I know.
He's got a bird's
We
nest
were
up
we
there
were
now,
gassing
dude.
him. We were
Yeah,
gassing
dude,
him.
his hair looks great, bro.
And that hair color was just someone was asking like my chat today him and like the hair color is natural. He didn't dye his hair, so it's coming in. Oh,
It's
this
nice.
guy's got a
natural
good head of
color.
hair. Good head of hair. And there was one other joke I'll tell you about later, Zen, that you'll find was really funny when we were talking about that. Which caster made their CDL debut today? And that was our boy I Hold Shift. Although technically, I actually debate this question because he did cast matches last year.
He was great today, by the way.
Okay, keep going.
Old Shit was a
Fair.
great caster today.
Technicality, but whatever. I mean, Shift's my guy. Always play golf with him after events. How many total rounds of S&E did Røkkr win yesterday? You guys said 2. It was actually 3.
I knew.
Was
we
the amount
knew
to get
it.
right?
I said 3.
You said 2, but you had
He
3.
said 2 like a more.
He was shooting his load early.
Yeah.
Every single question.
Ben
Snoopy,
yeah, he was asking questions at the speed of light.
Yeah,
man.
I was trying to, because I don't have a timer. You know what I mean? I'm trying to.
Wait,
I would have read that shit
Ben.
in slow motion.
Ben, real quick, I'm gonna let you after you read through these. I'm gonna let you go for redemption on the 10 gifted with a putt. If you make it, you don't gotta give me
shit.
gift.
That's from your.
shit.
Oh, Tommy.
shit.
Come
You
on,
don't gotta
Ben,
give-
don't miss
Tom,
the putt,
Tom,
bro.
no, Tom, you gotta pay still.
No,
unless you make a putt.
No, I'll pay.
You
I'll
don't
pay.
gotta.
I'll
You
pay.
don't gotta
No,
putt.
I'll
Tom,
pay.
you owe
You're
me my
good.
full 20. There's no redemption involved.
So,
Relax, Tony. It's 10.
So we got
10.
3
Oh,
more.
it was 20 collectively? You cheap
20
bastard.
collectively.
Trying to
You
be
fucking
Cheap
asshole.
piece of shit.
Anyway, so
fat bastard.
we got 3 more. So Zuma has a high-pitched voice, alter ego named what? And that is Tiny Zuma.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Which player had the highest overall KD on opening day? That was our guy Ender, aka Illy.
Okay.
And then the last question was a super easy one, bro. Which flank host is never wrong just early? That is Mr. Patrick Price, aka Aches. How is Aches the answer to 2 different questions?
Never
on this
wrong.
list?
He's never wrong, apparently.
Riley,
yeah,
He's
He's
wrong a lot.
2
bro.
answers
He
too
thinks
many,
he's
bro.
never wrong.
All right, I gotta hit putt. Is that the deal here now?
Ben, you
Yep.
have to hit a putt,
Sink the
bro.
putt. You don't gotta pay up.
All right,
The pressure is on. I can see it in your face. Are you nervous?
no, there's no pressure. If I miss, bro. It is what it is.
All
Good
right,
luck.
let's see what you got. All
we go.
right, you said the Zin, since you guys are the special guest here. All right, what do you guys got here? You think he's sinking it or what?
I
I think
think he's gonna choke.
he's done this same exact
think he's
putt so
choking.
many times that if he has so many reps that his muscle memory should be lights
Nah,
out. If he,
Zinni,
And he's gotta go from the
all
back of the
the
mat.
time, bro.
So who knows?
If
dude.
he-
back of the mat.
He
Ben.
chokes this,
literally
it's
misses it
embarrassing.
all the time, bro. Look, I'm going wide right. I think he's gonna shank it, and I think he's gonna go wide
You're not
right.
giving
Very
me
soon.
any confidence? Why are you rooting
Brother,
against?
Look at Ben rocking
I
that
was carrying
vintage.
you. I was carrying you in the Spitfire. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, Ben's
Back of the
rocking
mat,
that.
Ben.
Ben's rocking
There
that
it is.
fit.
Look at those fucking stinky fucking slippers. Here he
Don't
goes
watch the
again.
Show. That's just a 7-foot putt. Okay.
Nah, hit the pot.
Wait, we can't see the hole. Oh wait, no,
I
I
can see
got.
the
I can
hole
see. I can
clear
see.
as
I
day.
can see. I can see.
What did you say?
I can see. I can see it.
Benji Nassim steps up to the plate, got his slippers on and everything. Doesn't have the dogs out today. Gonna line it up. Let's see what he can do.
For
He
10
sees
gifted?
the ball.
I didn't even
What
need
an
to look at
absolute
that. I knew
animal.
it was in after I hit it.
No
It's your own
fucking
fault.
way.
It's your own
I
He
fault.
didn't crumble under the pressure.
He didn't crumble. Well
What
done,
an
Ben.
animal.
Well done. You don't
What
owe me
a
anything.
fucking beast, dude. What a beast, bro.
I knew after I hit that was instantly in. You just didn't need to know.
You don't owe me anything, Ben. Good shot. Good shit.
Yo, you guys
So-
want to go through predictions on next matches real quick? There's 3 of them. We can do
Yeah.
them fast as fuck.
Let's do it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Miami, Vegas. I got Miami.
Really? Wow.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I mean, I
think Miami's gonna come out and go crazy.
Okay.
I'm taking Vegas in that one. I think Vegas, I still have some, I mean, they both look, this is like 50-50 for me, but I'm going to go Vegas.
It's 50-50 for sure. This could go either way.
Yeah,
I chose Vegas today, and they fucked me. They trolled the round 11. And they trolled my picks.
I'm gonna go
I'm going
Vegas.
with Miami.
I'm gonna go Vegas as well. I think Vegas. I think it's gonna be a really close series, but I got Vegas taking it.
Ben?
So Vegas at heads, Miami is tails. Siri, flip a coin for me.
No fucking way. man. You're flipping a coin?
It's heads, so Vegas. It is.
Miami? Oh, Vegas? Okay.
Yeah.
So we got 3 Vegases, 1 Miami. Now we got LA Thieves going up against the Boston Breach. I'm going to go with Boston on this one. I think they need a win. Like, I feel like they're going into that next match thinking, like, man, we need to get this dub. I think they're going to pull through and get their first dub of the season. I'm going to go with the Boston Breach.
I agree with Tom. I'm hoping Boston can turn it around. I mean, I truly do think, at least in the beginning, I thought that Boston built the 5th best roster. I thought based on the pieces they have, I thought Priesta was a huge pickup. Slasher was a huge pickup, obviously coming from Atlanta FaZe. They bring Cap back, who at the end of last year, although they didn't make champs, like you said earlier, Ben, Capsule was impeccable at the end of the year. And then Snoopy, who of course has been great so far. I think the problem with Snoopy so far is he needs to find that middle ground where he's not just running forward and needs to like add that pace variation to his locker. But I do have faith in this Breach roster. I do think if they win, it's going to be close. I'm taking them in like a game 5 fashion.
Yeah, I got Boston. I got Boston in a lot less words than Zen, but yeah, I got Boston.
Sorry.
I think they need a win. I think they're going to come out. I think they're going to get a win. I think it's going to be a grueler though. It's the first one's always the hardest, man. It's always the hardest. I think it's going to be a good series there, but I think they got it.
Agreed. I think once you get the first series out the way, it kind of gets the momentum flowing. But go ahead, Ben. What do you got?
I got Boston, but my concern with Boston right now is they in S&D right now just keep throwing away rounds. And like if you're winning first blood a majority of the time, which they did, of 30 rounds they won 17, so it's just over 500. But they only won 10 of those rounds they won first blood, and that's not good enough. In 3 maps, throwing away 7 rounds, you get first blood. Like you're just gonna get punished at this level. So I have them winning this one, but they got to turn the corner on that, or they're gonna end up like the problem that their opponent had last year. And if you can't convert those, you're gonna blow opportunities. And this is a must win for them. Like 0-3, I don't see it at that point making winners bracket.
Yeah,
I really don't.
And then we have OpTic Texas going up against Seattle. Personally, I'm going to go with OpTic on this one. I think this is going to be a real test for Seattle. I think OpTic's going to play him really good. I think today they got that W, and it's kind of set the tone for the rest of the way in the first major. So I'm going to go with OpTic Texas. I can see it being a grueler, though. I can see that one going down to the wire. But I have OpTic closing that one out. Who do you guys got?
I also have OpTic.
Yeah, it's a hard one. Obviously, we got Illy, we got Hook, we got Ray over there. A lot of ex OpTic members. I think it's gonna be a fucking gruel. I think it's going 5. I think that's gonna go. That's
Zoom
going
with
5.
10 real quick. Thanks.
It's
Of course.
What
gotcha.
scares me is Seattle Search. I think Seattle Search looks probably the most polished right now in the league, in my opinion. So I'm worried about their Search. I think we got the slight edge in the respawns, but the Search and Destroys scare me a little bit against Seattle. So I think we're gonna win, but it's gonna be a hard one. I'm never gonna say we're gonna lose. We're going game 5, in my opinion.
Ben?
So if I'm OpTic, first off, I'm getting Terminal out of this series in all game modes. Just let's not touch that map against Seattle.
They didn't play it bad, though, Ben. They trolled
Yeah,
on
but
it.
Seattle look incredible on Terminal. I'm just not squaring up with them. Like, what's the point? Seriously, like think about it. Like seriously, if you're OpTic, like I just don't see
Yeah,
the
I
point.
don't know. Personally,
It's
I wouldn't
it's
shut that
early.
map out of their rotation yet. It's too early, and they
It's
play well.
it's early, but I would not. If it were me right now, and
It's fine. It's your opinion. Go
broad
ahead.
review, whatever, but like I wouldn't square up with them on that map. And I think you look at the rest of the pool.
I agree.
I kind of agree with Seth. I think respawn should theoretically favor OpTic, although I think Seattle's look good in respawn. It's the S&D is the factor here. If OpTic can clean up again the situations where they get man advantage or they have a really good setup and they overheat, I do think that their speed is going to be a huge problem for the way that Seattle plays Search. So I have OpTic taking it game 5, but I do think this one is a really close series that will come down to probably the last round of that last
Yeah,
map.
it's gonna be a tough series, man. That's gonna be a good one for sure.
It's gonna be a
And
telling
that's not-
series
That's next weekend, right? And then we have the break.
Yep.
on
Right?
Friday.
Another
Yeah,
weekend,
Friday.
and
OpTic plays
okay,
twice.
phenomenal.
OpTic plays twice next weekend as well. They play Seattle and then they play Carolina before the break.
Would you
Okay.
guys rather have this question? Would you rather be the team that has 4 matches before the break or 3?
4.
Yeah.
I want to know. I would like to know where we're at going into the break and like mentally prepare myself for when we come back to like know what we got to do.
Yep.
I'd rather know more than less.
I agree with that, Strat. What do you think,
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Agree
I
all
mean,
around.
Because I mean, you're gonna come back potentially be playing on this new patch, which I don't know if you guys have heard what we've heard, which is some hills got better, some hills got significantly worse. Terminal might be even worse now on the new patch. And then on top of all of the other bugs and other issues in it, so that I think is a factor as to why I would play the 4 early. Take advantage of the knowledge you have now before you have 3 weeks to learn what these new spawns are.
Dude, we played sub. I think sub base probably changed the
Heard
most.
some
Oh,
got
dude.
worse.
Sub base
That
is
game,
insanely
post-patch,
different.
P3 is
P3,
insane
right?
now.
I think
Yeah.
P3 they like spawn
Post
deep as
patch,
fuck
this
now.
is very like the game is very Black Ops 2-esque. I think some of these newer gen players are gonna be a little like what the fuck at first because spawns have been pretty close and it's like now it's like if you botch a rotation, you're losing a full 60. Like P2 and P3 it was like you had tack insertions. You were spawning side door, front window, you could just nade in. Now it's like a hike. So I'm curious to see. I'm sure the pros like it more though. Like I'm sure they prefer the actual. I don't know. Maybe a healthy
Sub base
medium.
is
Sub base is
drastic.
pretty. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many of them. I mean, if I were a pro right now, like obviously I would love to play like BPL or 8. but you don't want to get used to the new spawns when you're playing the old spawns right now. So I'm curious. We'll probably get more tweets and more reaction after like next Sunday when people sort of take the break and play on the new patch and get their thoughts. But I know all of us have talked to friends who play amateur level or play the top challengers level. And
The
gotten
fuck
these
you
thoughts,
smirking
so-
at, asshole?
Who, me?
No, Tommy. You're
Dude,
just sitting
Tom
there-
is fucking that hat up, dog.
They're making fun of me. They're making fun of me.
They
Here.
keep like, it's what's
I
wrong
like
with the
it.
brand?
It's my new hat. You guys look. It says wasabi on it.
I
You
like
see?
it.
I fuck
It's
with it,
fire.
man. I
It's
fuck with
fire.
it.
It's
Color, I
pretty.
like it. I
It's
like
pretty
it.
fire.
I like it.
Yeah, it's fire.
Yeah, so I'm talking about.
I can't
Did
wear
someone send you
hats.
the hat?
Oh, dude. I
like it?
look bad in hats, man.
You like
can't
it? You
wear
wear
them.
hats.
The only thing I keep getting worried about is I get headset hair now, bro, and the hat's flat in my hair. You guys ever get the headset hair, bro?
Bro,
I
so
be worried
these-
about that
these,
shit.
I got
these
a
new
damn
headphones, these new
perma.
headphones I bought them a year ago. Shout out Crimsix because he recommended to me. The problem is that there's like a gap in the middle and it like fucks up the back of my hair and I get these like cowlicks. If I take
Oh,
my
no.
headset off at the end of the day and my hair is all just, it's
Yeah.
a fucking disaster, Tom. It really is.
Yeah, it's because you got an indent in your head. That's the problem.
I
Yeah,
basically, yeah.
it's a head, yeah.
That's the fucking problem. But yo, bro, I had fun today, man.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. This was a fun show. You guys ever want to
yeah.
do this again? You let me know.
I listen.
Absolutely,
I
man.
hope everybody at home enjoyed it. Obviously, I think we all think now is a good time to come together and do something. And let's get some W's if you guys had a good time. We can definitely plan something for later in the year. We're gonna do our best, despite what's going on, to give you guys the best shows possible all year long. So
Absolutely.
I had a lot of fun too.
Yeah, no.
Yes, sir, man.
It was a blast, man. It was seamless. It was fucking. We got right into that shit. We handled it, man. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys very
Yeah.
much.
But guys, if you're watching from home, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on both channels, on everybody's channel. Go follow the breakdown. What's the at breakdown, right?
On what? On Twitter?
On
yeah,
Twitter,
at
Yeah,
Breakdown
Twitter,
Pod.
Breakdown Pod.
Instagram,
Breakdown
everything,
Pod.
bro.
Instagram's methods. Breakdown Instagram's methods. METHODZ.
Yeah, Tony could be posting a lot of food pics on Instagram.
You see a lot
story.
of chicken parm, a lot of nice steak.
Yeah, my
Also-
dad, he's always talking about. He's like, "What's that fat bastard?" He's always eating that motherfucker.
Yeah, he calls
That
me
motherfucker's
Ziti or
always eating
something.
something. That motherfucker. But
He
yo,
calls
seriously,
me
guys,
Nizzy.
thank you to everybody who tuned in today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one, man. Take it easy.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Peace out, man.